We are joined via phone, our meteorologist, James Spann from ABC 3340. Good morning, sir.
Merry Christmas, everybody. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Tis the season to be jolly.
That's what they say anyway, except weather's a little unseasonable for Christmas.
Yeah, and the thing I have to remind everybody, this is the core of our late fall tornado season here, November and December. And people in Tuscaloosa ought to know that. I think a lot of people still recall what happened 15 years ago on December 16th, 2000. So it's not that odd to have severe weather in December. In fact, again, this is the season for that. And we are looking at a threat tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night for Tuscaloosa and really a pretty good chunk of West and North Alabama. The guys at the Storm Prediction Center have upgraded the risk to enhanced for us, and that means that this could be a high-impact event. And there's no need to be alarmed or worried or afraid of this. I mean, this happens on a pretty regular basis in the state, but what we encourage people to do is just be in a position to hear warnings. The main window, I really think, for Tuscaloosa would be about 3 until 9 p.m., that 6-hour window. That's the core threat. There might be some problems before 3 or after 9, but that's the main window. And within that window, we could see a few storms that are capable of producing perhaps a tornado in a few spots or damaging straight-line winds. And again, if you look at things, tornadoes are small, counties are big. Your odds of being hit are always relatively small, but this is a significant threat. So be sure your weather radio has got a battery and it's programmed right, and your smartphone app is cranked up. Your standard phone apps they're not designed to warn people. We prefer that people get the good apps. The one I like, it's called Weather Radio by WDT. I have no financial interest in it, none. I know how it works. I know the infrastructure, and it's a really good app that works well. My family uses it. I think it's $4, but that's $4 very well spent. So weather radio and a smartphone app, that's the way you're getting the warning, and then know where you're going. And here's the problem. Think about all these guests and visitors and family members that are in town that don't deal with tornadoes on a regular basis. I mean, if you live in Tuscaloosa, you know how to deal with a tornado, but if you live in Portland, Oregon, you don't. So be sure that your guests and visiting family members know if there's a warning, where to go. And wherever you do go, we always advise to have some stuff in there, like helmets for everybody. And, yeah, it's cool for a 10-year-old to wear a bike helmet or a batting helmet. It sounds silly for an older person or an adult, but it doesn't matter who you are. Every life is precious, and that greatly enhances your chance of surviving a tornado if one happens to hit your home. We like for everybody to have a portable air horn or a whistle in case you need help. First responders will know where you are. And also, we like for people to have in that kit hard-sole shoes, because you guys have seen a tornado debris field. And, a lot of people are like me. When they come home, they take their shoes off. And you can't go walking over a debris field with, just socks or, barefooted. So just some things to think about. And again, please don't be alarmed or worried about this. We get severe weather threats pretty often here, but just think about the things we've talked about and we'll be okay.
Well, you do sound very calming, but all about the business end of being smart too. So it's definitely something that we want. I'm sitting here thinking I got to get my little weather plan
little
tightened
package,
up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Get your package together and be ready. That preparedness is key.
Yeah, and we've learned a lot after what happened 4.5 years ago, and that's the other question people ask inevitably. And I heard it a bunch yesterday. Will this be like April 27th? And I don't answer that anymore. I don't like it's a bad question. Of course, the right answer is no. That's generational. The next time that happens, I'll be at the cemetery. But understand, if we only have one tornado in the whole state, but if that one tornado happens to come down your street, then that's your April 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like answering that question. Just everybody just needs to be aware and be able to hear warnings and know where you're going. And, of course, the other problem, if you live in a mobile home, you have to leave. And if you are in a car, you can't be in a car. A car is a death trap during a tornado. And just, you guys are marvelous. Commercial radio is a lifeline. What you guys do and putting our coverage on the air, it's just crucial. I can't thank you enough for that. But if you're in your car and all of a sudden you start hearing the fact that you're under a tornado warning, don't be a bonehead and just keep driving, or think you're going to run away from it, or you just pull over at the next opportunity, go into any place, a gas station, a restaurant, whatever, and get out of that car, because that's not a place to be.
How fluid does the forecast remain at this point?
I'd say that's a good question. I think that the confidence level is high in the event. The one thing that could mitigate the risk and make it a non-event is if we have a big mass of storms in the Gulf Coast. Sometimes that happens, and it blocks the inflow up in here, and it just kind of kills everything off. That'd be the greatest thing that could happen. And it might, but there's no evidence, none, that that's going to happen. We see nothing like that in the model output. So the confidence is fairly high that the event will happen. But and the other thing, too, to think about, this is not going to be a line. Sometimes with a storm system, you'll see just a long line of storms sweeping through. These storms will be more cellular in nature, and which means they're kind of random. And I can't give you a start-stop time if you live in Holt or if you live in Foster's or if you're in Alberta City. We can't do that because they're kind of random. Just be aware during that window. And, again, the core window is 3 until 9 p.m. Anytime during that period, you might catch a storm that blows through, and you just have to pay attention to them. Not all of them will be severe, but a few will, and again, some of those might drop a tornado. And beyond that, we'll get past it, and there might even be a strong storm Thursday, Christmas Eve. We don't expect any tornado problems then, and then Christmas Day, showers but no severe weather. And we're going to be watching the record books. The record high Christmas Eve is 77 in 1964. That was a very warm Christmas back in the 60s, and we'll be close to that this year, very close.
Wow. It will be interesting to see if we meet or even break that record.
Yeah, I know Scott's in his tank top and flip-flops this morning. It looks good.
Hey, he is ready for summer.
Always.
Hey, thank you. You're always so good to jump on the phone with us at the last minute, and we appreciate you taking the time to tell us what we need to know.
Hey, anytime y'all need me, y'all just holler. I'm right here.
All right.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.